Hi guys, this is the final sleep and fatigue video. I made it. I did it. You made it. You watched them all. So I left off. I told you about my experience with the internist and the endocrinologist saga, and I told you that I was referred for a third sleep study and what I learned reading my documents from my previous one. So the third sleep study itself, it was in November 2019. I only slept for an hour and 50 minutes. And the doctor said um, that was enough. That it didn't show any sleep apnea. Here we go with the sleep apnea again. And that was about it. Really, it was kind of useless. That doctor I don't think was much better than the first one. I've talked about in number two the difference in training with sleep doctors from Canada versus America. I talked all about that. So that last sleep study was kind of useless. So you'll never guess what happened next. So it was February of this year. I noticed yet another increase in my complete lack of energy. So I have both fatigue and daytime sleepiness. I have fatigue, which is a lack of energy, lack of stamina. I have that from fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome, which often occur together, although they are different things. Chronic fatigue syndrome is actually considered a severely disabling condition. About 75% of people with it don't work. Um, and I also have sleep disorders, idiopathic hypersomnia, which causes unrefreshed sleep and severe sleep inertia in the morning. Actually, fibromyalgia and CFS also cause unrefreshed sleep. I'm convinced that the idiopathic hypersomnia has always been there. The doctors keep saying medication, medication, and we'll find out. But as a baby, my mom had to wake me up to feed me. I've never had refreshed sleep that I can remember. Again, the medications have been there so long, it's hard to parse it all apart, and maybe it doesn't matter at the end of the day, but I think it's been there forever. And in terms of CFS and fibromyalgia, I wonder if those have been caused by, as a post-viral, I had Epstein-Barr virus when I was 4 years old. I had mononucleosis, and I know it was many, many years later that these diagnoses came into the picture, but I'm not sure if that's a coincidence or not. So I've talked before how I drop and then I plateau for a while, and I had another one of those drops again. I stopped doing anything outside the house, any work or volunteering, in the summer of 2019 because of how bad I felt, and I didn't think it could get worse. And then in February of this year, it seemed to get worse again, to the point where I was really only doing very basic, sleep, eat, take a shower, go for a walk, take medication. That was basically my life. It still kind of is. I'm taking advantage of a good day today. So I decided, out of desperation, because it was getting to the point where I couldn't read a book, I couldn't watch TV. I'm learning to sort of fight it, I think. But initially, it was just like, what is happening? I can't even do fun things. So I made the decision to contact the doctor who did my second sleep study, and who I got in touch with again a number of years after that to see if he would talk to me because I wanted another opinion. You might be able to guess where this is going to go. He thought I might have sleep apnea, because obstructive sleep apnea, because I've gained a lot of weight. I'm like 40 pounds heavier than when he saw me. Actually, probably more than that now. Uh, anyway, yeah, so he was worried about obstructive sleep apnea and he wanted to do another sleep study. I was very resistant. I've already done three. Why should I do four? But I started reading about sleep apnea and how some people get so much better when they get a CPAP on board. And I wasn't looking forward to wearing a CPAP, but I was kind of hoping that he was right and that there was a solution. I knew it wouldn't get me anywhere back to normal, but I thought it might improve things. So I relented. I did the sleep study. I think I slept about 5 hours this time because they actually gave me a sleeping pill. I don't know why that never happened in the first three. And it was a kind of a weird letdown that I didn't have sleep apnea, because, like I said, there would have been a treatment here. I might have been able to improve. So, what he's done is he has handed me over to a neurologist. And the neurologist, my understanding, we're going to look more closely at my medications and everything that's combined and see if, I mean, maybe removing medications will do nothing or changing different things, or I don't know. But I mean, I'll let you know what, he ends up doing, but that's what I'm sort of pinning my hopes on here. I'm pinning my hopes on this guy now. I was part of a study down in the Center for Addiction and Mental Health in downtown Toronto a few years ago, where they looked at, it was some sort of genetic thing about how you react to medication, and it came back that the antidepressant I'm on in quite a high dose is actually not good for me. My psychiatrist is a know-it-all with a God complex, and was completely dismissive of the paperwork and refused to do much about the medication I'm on. And I would like to try going off it. I feel like there might be some withdrawal. Not that I'm addicted, but I'm probably dependent after all these years. So I'm not. I wish there was somewhere I could go and do that instead of doing it alone at home. This is all, suppositioning. I have no idea. I'd be curious to see if the medication made a big improvement. I don't think it will, unfortunately. As much as I said I'm pinning my hopes on this guy, it probably won't be a big improvement if there is one, because I'm convinced that the idiopathic hypersomnia has been there my whole life, because of what my mom tells me about being a baby, about what I was like when I was a baby, rather. So that's where I'm up to now. Um, I did it. I can't believe I actually got to the. Wow. Okay. So that's where I'm up to now. I've brought you up to today. Um, I'm still not really working or doing anything out of the house. There is a term called post-exertional malaise. The people with CFS, when we exert ourselves physically or mentally, we are absolutely exhausted after. I had a bunch of appointments in a row last week, and by Wednesday, I was dead. I was absolutely dead. Like, most people probably wouldn't have gotten out of bed. Never mind, got out of the house and went somewhere. Um, so that's probably just what my life is right now, unless it goes into remission. I don't know that there's a whole lot that can be done. This is where I'm at. I go for a walk every day, but people with CFS, unlike with a fibromyalgia diagnosis, they only really encourage like moderate exercise. There's actually a term called exercise intolerance, which sounds like the best excuse ever for getting out of gym class. But what it means is that you cannot exercise at the level expected for someone of your age and health. I go for a half an hour walk around the block and I come back in pain and exhausted. So that's this could just be what my life looks like now. Um, it feels anticlimactic. I guess I'll just wrap it up and thank you for making it this far. Thank you.